On the one hand, we can provide more clean energy, but on the other hand, we also do good for ecology in general. And we bring all this knowledge together and build a foundation on which we can actually do good, both for wind energy and for ecology.
Offshore wind energy is an essential part of the successful energy transition in the Netherlands and should grow enormously in the coming years. Various projects are taking place within the TKI offshore energy program. This also includes a project that investigates the effect of one black blade on wind turbines on the flight behavior of birds. This project is called ZWEMT, an addition to the Black Blade project.
The Black Blade project started here in the Eemshaven in 2021. It's about testing the efficacy of painting one blade black on a turbine as a measure to prevent or reduce bird collisions. And the ZWEMT project will give us additional information, especially about the question, why does it work or does it not work? I am Arjen Schultinga, Project Development Manager working for RWE Renewables. It's something that has already been tested in Norway, where the results were really positive, but also for a very specific bird. And here in the Eemshaven we have many bird species, and we thought let's also test it here to see if it also works in this environment and for these species.
The ZWEMT project is an addition to the already existing Black Blade project, where we add sensors to a couple of turbines to investigate the behavior of birds around wind turbines. I am Joep Breyer and I work at the Wind Energy Department of TNO. So the first sensor is a radar, which looks at the area around kilometers. Then near the turbines we have visual and thermal cameras, so we can also see the behavior of the birds at night. We also have microphones, so we can hear what type of species are flying around the turbine. Lastly, we have sensors in the blades of the turbines, and they can measure collisions, but luckily that is very rare. We're not completely sure about under which conditions the birds fly into the wind turbines. Currently, the casualties are being found on the ground, but then you don't know under what time, under what conditions the actual impact was. And with the sensors, we can actually see under which conditions this happens. Probably we'll see that this will happen under bad weather conditions. Based on the data, we already did some preliminary analysis together with the ecologists at Waardenburg Ecology, and they are there to interpret the data.
We are the ecologists in the project, so we analyze all the data that is gathered and we explain what we find from our ecological point of view. I am Jonne Kleijer-Gartman. I am a researcher and project manager in bird ecology at Waardenburg Ecology. The behavior of birds close to wind turbines differs a lot between species. So there are species that are afraid of wind turbines, so they strongly avoid wind farms. Then there are also species that are quite indifferent about the presence of wind turbines. And there are also species that might even be attracted to the infrastructure that is present in the wind farm. There are many threats that we pose to birds, we humans. Think for instance about traffic. We have our domestic cats that bring home their prey every now and then. In general, the amount of casualties in wind farms is relatively small. But when we look at the plans for the future, the amount of wind turbines will of course increase quite rapidly. So it's very important that we do everything that we have in our power to reduce the effects.
We have set up and organized this project with many different partners. For instance, Rijkswaterstaat, but also many provinces, and especially I want to mention the province of Groningen. They also have done a lot of work in the preparation to get this project organized.
With the setup here, we learn a lot. So the new parks offshore will include a lot of technologies which we currently use within this project. And with this data, we can either change the operation of the current turbines, or we can change how we design turbines and wind farms in the future, both offshore and onshore.
Are you also working on innovation? And would you like to know what TKI Offshore Energy can do for you? Please contact us.